right, so you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. So last episode, it's been a long journey getting this project done, but I'm finally getting it done. And I saved the best for last. I saved the last episode for my coach, Brian Katz, from the head instructor and owner of Advanced Martial Arts. Brian is a BJJ black belt. Brian's been a coach in MMA, strength and conditioning. He's been an instructor for boxing, Muay Thai, BJJ. He's an entrepreneur. He started with Muay Thai and boxing, and then went into BJJ. But before all even that, you started with powerlifting, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you are like an A-class motocross rider.
I don't know about A-class. I'm a B-class. Okay, I don't want to misrepresent.
Okay.
Yeah, I ride upper amateur level probably, I ride pretty well though.
Yeah. And you love mountain biking, and you're like, I know you've been skiing and snowboarding, and you're like black diamond level.
I'm a pretty good skier.
Yep. You're also an amazing father.
Try to be, absolutely.
And a husband, one of the funniest dudes.
Yep, try to be as well.
Yep. And also, I mean, probably talk about this a little more, but you're big into ping pong.
Well, I used to be a lot bigger. I'd like to get get it back going again.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. I know that you don't really like being in front of the camera too much.
I don't mind. I don't like a lot of people. It's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're on, because you are the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Just a little bit of background from how I even got to your gym. I know I talked a little bit about it with Dave when he came in, but before you trained with Lou Ventolaro, he was like one of the first black belts, right?
Yeah. He was a Hoyle Gracie black belt,
Yep.
basically kind of the first generation of American guys to get real jiu-jitsu from real Brazilian guys and keep it legit. And I trained with him up in Fairlawn in Bergen County, and it was just a great base, a lot of big, strong, tough guys. So I learned a lot, got beat up a lot, and had an opportunity to train with some of the best guys in the world up there as well. And then so that's where Dave knew you. Absolutely,
because Dave was training under Lou. And then I know I was going through a really tough time in my life. I think I couldn't find a job. I graduated into the recession in 2009. And then 2010 was when I was just meeting up with you. I think I still got my sign the sheet that I signed up. I still have it. And I started in May 2010 with you officially. But I think a month or two you let me train for free. I was telling Dave that. You
were crying the blues to me like you had no money.
I had no money.
And you pulled up in a $30,000 car.
Which I had to get rid of.
Anyway. It's all good.
But
I don't judge.
Yeah,
don't judge.
I had a nice 350Z back in the day.
But had no money.
Yeah, but had no money.
It's all good.
So I was telling you, I was like, I scrub your toilets, I'll do whatever.
Do anything. Scratch my back, anything.
Let me train. And then you were just just come in and just do it.
You were hungry. You wanted to train, You had the thirst of jiu-jitsu. So.
So actually, I wanted to know, I'm sure you probably have guys that come through the door all the time. And they're probably oh, bro, I want to train. I want to fight. I want to do this, all this stuff. What goes through your mind when you hear that crap? And then what went through your mind when I said it to you?
When you first came, I was still relatively new, but I knew about people and stuff. But I just saw it in you, and you wanted to train. And if you want to train, we'll work it out somehow. I don't care. If you want to train, we'll work it out. We'll figure something out. But as for people wanting to fight and turn their lives into, being Conor McGregor and making money and this and that, it's few and far between. When I first opened, I used to have 5 guys a week come in and say they made the choice to be an MMA fighter, and I just I had to embrace it, but in my mind I knew that this kid would never be a fighter. But as a business, you gotta do what you gotta do, But hey, listen, I like people's enthusiasm, so.
Have you ever met somebody that walked through the doors that were like that and it actually went somewhere with it?
Yeah, Ricardo Romero.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricardo made it to the UFC, and we'll get into Brian and as a coach how he came from humble beginnings and then went straight all the way to the top. But before all that, we're gonna start with the deep history.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into your foundation, which is powerlifting. You are a man of many talents. Like you've done practically so many. We're gonna get into it, but you started out with the powerlifting, and you were telling me the numbers you were putting up as a freshman in high school, and I couldn't believe it. But there were guys that were confirming your numbers.
Oh yeah.
Like Chris. Yeah, you got videotape.
I had video competitions. Yeah. It was pretty crazy. I didn't know I was strong until about 8th grade.
That's crazy.
When my friend got an Olympic weight set and he just said, try to lift this. And I lifted more than him and he got all pissed. So, can I say pissed? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, and then I kind of embraced it. Whatever I do, I like to do fully. So I started getting a little bit stronger, and then I did a little bit of research and found out how the body works and training and trial and error, and that's just how I like to do things,
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was a good time.
So from the powerlifting, I see old pictures at the gym. You're deadlifting like crazy plates.
Yeah, 650, bench 500. Squatted over 600. It's
crazy.
Before I was 20 years old. Drug free.
That's insane. Yeah. So I'm sure you went somewhere with it. Like you were telling me you were talking at you competed.
I competed all over. I went to Nevada, Carolina, all over the country. Eventually, because my best lift was my bench press, I specialized in that. Nobody ever comes up to you and go, "What do you squat, bro?" No one does that. Everyone asks what you bench. What you bench, bro? You know what I mean? So I was very good at it, and I kind of started as a 3-lift power lifter and then kind of fine-tuned it into just bench pressing. And I competed all over, won a bunch of national titles as a teenager.
Wow.
I learned a lot, and that was it. It was cool. It was fun.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I thought you
I had trophies everywhere, man.
Dude, I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a hobby.
No.
It was serious.
I've been to Nevada, North Carolina, Minnesota, all up and down the East Coast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. With a bunch of meatheads, yeah.
Did you end up being a coach for that?
No, because I only did it for till about 16 to about 21, 22.
Wow.
So that was kind of quick. That's a quick career. That was it right there. So
but you still you were killing it.
Yeah, and I got into it, and then I had a major injury, and that's how I got into martial arts.
Yeah. So talk about that. Talk about that experience. I don't know if you. I'm sure it's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, it was my life. It was my life, tearing stuff, and I have tons and tons of injuries, and this and that. But the pec injury. I don't know if I, associated or, blame it on creatine monohydrate. But when it first came out, they wanted you to take a loading phase of 20 grams, and your body can't take that. And I was just dehydrated, not feeling good, and lifted hard. And maybe I was dehydrated, and that's what tore my muscle, I don't know, but I kind of think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And, but everything happens for a reason, I believe. Everything in life. So I tore my pec, and that was it. I was done. I went from benching 500 to not even be able to put my left hand up laying on my back. So
how did it feel? What was the feeling?
Felt like ripping a piece of paper in half.
Oh, gosh.
So
did like your titty droop?
Yeah.
When it tore, what did it look like?
It kind of just was a little deformed. Nothing too really crazy because I'm not too lean. You know what I mean? If I was a bodybuilder, it'd be different. Yeah. I got a little body fat on me. So
Fat boy Jujitsu.
Yeah. So but you could feel it. It's still messed up, and even to this day in Jujitsu, I keep my arms tight, and no one will ever Kimura my left arm because I'll never give it to somebody.
Wow.
Because I just can't have someone. I don't have the flexibility, so I can't have someone touch it.
That's crazy. So after you tore your pec, I know you said that's how you started in martial arts.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you got into?
Well, I was a trainer at a gym. And
how'd you get into training?
Okay, when I got back from Colorado.
Okay.
Right, I wasn't really into weightlifting that much anymore, and I was getting back into it, and I kind of wanted a meathead gym, and too bad meatheads don't have any money, so I was a personal trainer at a really wealthy gym, and I was just working there all the time. Then I started benching heavy, and bang, blew my pec out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And after I healed, I needed something to do, and there was this little Italian guy named James Walsh, and he was an amazing boxer, and I just saw him train and couldn't believe, the hand speed and this and that. So I said, hey, listen, I want you to train me twice a week for 3 months. I gave him money, and I said, Tuesday, Thursday at 1 o'clock, I'll meet you here.
Wow.
Beat the piss out of me. And that's what I did. And he was awesome. He taught me a lot of good basics boxing, and that's how I got into boxing.
Yeah.
And then after the boxing, I learned about Thai boxing, and then I researched it, because instead of boxing just having 2 weapons, I learned that Muay Thai had 8 weapons. Mm-hmm. So all while this was going on, I was just doing a lot of research and learning about all different arts and what was real and what wasn't. It was a kind of a cool time in martial arts, as the Gracies brought Jiu-Jitsu to America, and it was just kind of really getting big after 2000 and something, and it was interesting. It was a cool time. So that's how I did it. I went from boxing to Muay Thai to Jiu-Jitsu.
And then when you got into Jiu-Jitsu, how did you find Lou? Like, did you even start with Lou?
So what I was doing was I was boxing, and I had one of my friends. He's a cop in New Brunswick, and he a little tough guy, and he got into Jiu-Jitsu. It's a funny story that we were both power lifters, and he wanted something else to do.
Is this somebody I know? Or?
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah. I don't like to say last names, but so he got me into it. He went and took a class, and this little Italian guy beat the piss out of him.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, Brian, you got to try this, man. You got to try this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I was riding motocross and kind of doing Muay Thai at the same time. And I was like, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to roll around with 2 dudes on the ground. Man, I don't want to do that. And he's like, Brian, you got to try it, man. You'll be good at it. You'll be good at it. And one day I crashed on my dirt bike. Almost killed myself.
My gosh.
I put it away, and I called him up. I said, hey, man, you still training that jiu-jitsu stuff? And he goes, yeah. I said, can I come to a class with you? And he goes, yeah, I'm taking one Sunday morning. And we used to have to drive an hour and a half to go train. And not like now where you could throw a rock and hit 5 schools.
Yeah.
So we used to have to drive all the way up to get good jiu-jitsu. And
was Lou at the same spot?
No, man, we were in some little hobo warehouse, man. It was like the Wire type.
Oh my god,
it was crazy. Yeah,
where was it?
It was in Oradell, the last exit on the Parkway. So it was way up
crazy.
there in a little warehouse, and you had to walk upstairs, and it was in a little room.
Dude, that's
nuts.
I'm
talking maybe 50 feet by 50 feet, maybe.
Yeah,
and people were getting it in, man. It was really cool. It was fun. It was a cool vibe. And I trained once, and this big Russian kid, Ilya, if you're listening, I'll never forget. Okay? Ilya Vosk, this big Russian kid, but man, he beat the snot out of me. And I was like, this is such a powerful art. I got to learn it. And he taught me so much. I mean, he really helped me a lot. And after he beat me, he helped me, beat me, and helped me. And that's how jiu-jitsu is. You lose, you learn, you lose, you learn, you lose, you learn, you build yourself. If you're not willing to lose, you're never going to build yourself.
Yep.
So I just was willing to lose and just learn, and that's why. And luckily, I was at the right place at the right time. Lou was a great instructor. Great guys, tough guys, great area. I mean, it was good.
Yeah, it was just a great hub.
Yeah, it was great. I was blessed.
Yep. And then how long did it take you to have advanced? Was it long after you started?
Well, we were traveling so far, and it was an hour and a half. While this was going on, I was working at a gym, like I was telling you before. So while I was training jiu-jitsu, I was working at a gym. Then the gym started falling out, and I was doing strength conditioning, and I opened up a little gym called SST, Sport Specific Training, in Millstone. And I was catering to athletes and doing my personal training, and I never even thought about doing jiu-jitsu. So I left the gym. Yeah, left New York Sports Club, the big gym in Marlboro, Manalapan. And then I went over to this place in Millstone, opened up a little place. And after I did all my personal training lessons, my speed and conditioning lessons, I used to put out mats just because I needed guys to roll with. So I offered guys, hey, listen, free training. You come, I'll teach you some jiu-jitsu as long as you show up. So after my classes were done, all of a sudden I'd have 2 guys on the mat, 4 guys on the mat, 6 guys on the mat. And then one day I looked and I saw 15 dudes on the mat. And I said, you know what? It's time to start teaching.
Oh, wow.
And, I was only a 3-stripe white belt at that time. So, and I asked Lou, and I said, Lou, when can you start teaching? And he said, dude, if you can teach as long as you know more than someone, you can teach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not teaching world-class guys. I'm teaching guys, beginners, and only what I know, and we'll get better as we go.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I started as a 3-stripe white belt. While I was teaching my guys, I was continuing my education in jiu-jitsu and always training, staying on the mat, training hard, learning, losing, you know. And it was a good time. It was a cool transition into what I do now.
Wow. So you pretty much like started a gym as, I guess, as a
beginner.
Like straight up beginner.
I knew but remember when I first started back in 2000, man, if you knew 5 moves, you tapped everyone.
You could beat everybody.
Yeah, because people didn't want to embrace it.
Yeah,
you know, they hated jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
They thought it sucked, and therefore jiu-jitsu guys were killing everyone.
Yeah,
you know,
I thought it sucked.
Yeah, until you realize how the power of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was very blessed to see when it first came in from the Gracies to Henzo's in the city, and then it morphed out into North Jersey, and then where it is now. You know, I've seen it go through the whole phase, and I'm lucky because some guys who got it in the last 2 or 3 years, you know, they really don't understand the whole picture. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, what's interesting is, like, you know, you talked about, like, you started teaching at a lower belt, and
now you could never do that.
Yeah, you probably can't do that anymore.
Never. Yeah. You could never do that. You couldn't even open a school as a purple belt now. It would be hard.
I just can't. Yeah.
I mean, not to say you couldn't, but it would be very difficult, especially in this area. I mean, we're saturated, you know.
Yeah. I know for myself, I mean, I wasn't like teaching other students, but I mean, you know, the little crew I had, like I would teach at my house as a 3-stripe white belt. And I think, you know, about, like, I don't know about you, but for me, it helped me to be better quicker.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, just teaching people that had no idea how to do anything, and just kind of like guiding them through the process. It helped me to tighten my game up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I tell all the guys, it's like, if you don't got any jobs, if you're not doing anything, you're a young kid, go to school, whatever, like, do your dues. Help out the instructor, help out with the kids' classes.
Yeah, man, it works. You know, if you're interested in doing it, if you're interested in learning, you know, learning how to teach and learn. Some people don't care about it. You know, some guys are world-class athletes, terrible instructors, you know, terrible. So, but it's all good.
Yeah, man. So, in the previous episode, I talked about Liam, you know, he was at advanced, and he ended up leaving, you know, and, you know, it was, you know, we said it wasn't due to any beef or anything like that. It was just the vibe wasn't there, you know, different mentality, all that kind of stuff.
It wasn't even the vibe. It's just, you know, listen, he's an ultra competitor.
I knew,
you can explain it better. I knew from the beginning. I even told Chris, and they were honest all the way to the end. I said, listen, you know, when kids get this good at that age, it's very hard to find them work, you know, and I understand that. And, but, you know, we talked about it all the way to the end, you know, and I'm glad where he's at. Listen, I only wish him the best, and I think he has the potential to be some of the probably one of the best in the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, you know, I'm lucky that, you know, I taught him a lot of jiu-jitsu and saw him, you know, through his young phases and how tough he was and how he didn't want to tap, and, you know, he had heart, and I seen when, you know, he used to cry, and, you know, I was lucky to see that. It's cool, you know, no hard feelings at all.
No.
Wish him the best, and absolutely, man.
And, you know, I think the you know, I guess the area where I want to get into is, like, you know, you also left Luz because of, like, logistical, you know, things, and I mean, it's far, you know.
I tried as long as I could. I tried as long as I could, man. 3 days a week, driving an hour and a half, 3 hours of driving. It was very difficult, but I needed the good training, so I you know, I sacrificed, you know.
And then you ended up going to Kurt Pellegrino's. You're under him now. And you know, I think I mean, you know, Kurt's pretty close to you. He's down in the shore area, right?
Belmar,
Belmar. And so, you know, when there's other people, I guess, you know, like that always comes up, right? It's like, I'm leaving the gym, I'm going somewhere else. Like, you know, so I mean, you've experienced it all. You've experienced people leaving.
Nothing surprises me.
And bad terms, right? Like, what? I think
I've kissed people and I've kicked people out. So you know.
So, like, I think for myself, like, as a business owner or like a gym owner, it's like, what advice do you have for folks that want to open a gym and they don't know the side? Like, they have no idea.
You know, Coach Kurt and I, we always talk about this.
Yeah.
That's why I love Kurt, because Kurt has been through it all. You know, he was a good wrestler. He went to Jujitsu. He, you know, he competed at the highest level. He had sick fights in the UFC.
Yep.
He had fallings out with certain people. So him and I kind of related, you know what I mean? And I liked the vibe of his school, kind of laid back, but good hard training, but not ultra competitive. You know, ultra competitive drops off a lot of people, you know, so I kind of wanted to be in the middle. And for new school owners, man, it's hard. Accept everything, man. Anything can happen at any time. You know what I mean? And you know, Kurt and I always talk about, as the upper belts grow, you know, you get some guys who have attitudes and feel, you know, entitled or something like that. But listen, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. You know, we deal with alpha males, you know, so you build them up to a certain spot, and then, you know, hopefully they stay with you, you know, and do the right thing. And doing the right thing goes a long way, you know, because relationships you build now will help you in the future. I believe that. That's why I try to be cool with everyone.
Absolutely. I believe that too. I think, you know, with Crazy, we always see like people, you know, people that end up leaving on bad terms, like, you know, some bridges you don't want to burn.
There's a lot of bad mouth and stuff like that.
It's like, you don't want to do that.
Listen, Liam left the school. Chris and I, we all talked about it. After that night, no one said anything. Because it was all up front. It was cool. There was no, you know, people talking about this. It was just up front, and that's the best way to do it. Just be honest. You know? And it was all good.
Being honest. I think I talked about that with Jay, because Jay visits a lot of other gyms, and he's like, I just let Brian know because I ain't trying to do nothing behind his back.
As soon as Jay calls me every day, he annoys me a little bit, but I love him. But you know, wherever he goes, he trains all over. He goes everywhere, man. He trains everywhere, man. I love that guy. I mean, he's a role model. He's the roughest dude in the school, and he's in his mid-50s. You know what I mean? And you can give him a beat, and then he says thank you. You know what I mean? But he's an awesome guy. He's a character. But yeah, anytime he goes to another school, he always sends me a text or calls me. Hey, is that cool? I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
That's awesome. Yeah, we they were saying that, you know, when he went to Wilkie's at first, they gave him the nickname G.I. Jew. It's like
one knuckle punch.
So so next is getting into like the UFC, and you know, as a coach, you started, you know, we just heard about your humble beginnings. You started out as opening a school around a white belt. Was that advanced martial arts originally, or?
No, it was. Advanced.
And you were one of the guys that got the website, advancedbjj.com.
Right away.
You got that right away, which is smart. The thing. So you started in the beginning as a coach, as a low level guy, right? Humble beginnings. You did what you had to do. You coach, you know, you're like you were saying, at first you weren't focused on like the highest level athletes. You were just, you know, just teaching regular, you know, but then somebody walked through your door, right? And you had Ricardo walk in, right? And then on top of Ricardo, you also had Jay McLean walk in, you know, who made it to Strikeforce. And then, you know, you had a bunch of different guys.
Jay was a good Ring of Combat. Jay had some of the most exciting fights ever.
You had a couple guys that came through doors that went through Ring of Combat and did, you know, very well. You know, and I mean, you yourself are very well known in the Ring of Combat. Lou Neglia is like, oh, Brian's here, and you know, when we do the rules meeting, you know, he'll give you a shout out. But you know, can you talk about that experience of how you rose from the beginning and got to that?
Yeah, when I started, I just wanted to teach good jiu-jitsu. I had no aspirations of having any guy fighting MMA. And then Ricardo walks in the door, and you know, his story is pretty interesting. I was mopping the mats, and he walks in the door, and you know, he was really quiet, and he said, "Hey, I'm interested in training." So I said, "Okay." Meanwhile, he had
like 200.
He had traps like you know, big I don't even know what on his shoulders. He was just a big, wide-shouldered dude. I said, "Where'd you wrestle?" And he goes, "Oh, I wrestled in elementary school." So I'm trying to pull information from him, but he's not getting it. I've been doing it for a long time, I know. So I said, "Yeah, so where'd you wrestle?" He goes, "Elementary." I said, "Where, did you wrestle in middle school?" He said, "Yeah, South Brunswick." I said, "Oh, did you wrestle in college?" So now we're getting up there. So he goes, "Yeah, I wrestled in college." So I said, "Where?" And I had to pull everything. And he said, "I wrestled at Rutgers." I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "What was your record?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know." He knew, yeah. So he goes, "I don't know." So I said, "All right, I'll find out." So he actually comes into class, and he was just one of the most amazing athletes I've ever trained with. I had everybody roll with him. The move that I showed that day, he tapped everyone with. I ended up rolling with him, and I was pretty aggressive then and doing pretty good, and I just loved challenges, so I trained with him, and I ended up tapping him, but it was very difficult. And it was hard, and I knew that it would probably be the last time ever. And he got up and goes, "Yeah, I'll join up." And he comes back, starts training, and somebody just says, "Hey, why don't you do a fight?"
Wow.
And he goes, "Why don't you book me a fight?" And I said,
"Who is that?
Ricardo."
No. Who booked him the fight?
I booked him the fight.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the other students.
Oh, they were just like,
"Man, yeah, because he just murders people. Yeah, he just leaves bodies everywhere." It's crazy. So there's bodies laying everywhere, and someone goes, "Man, why don't you fight, dude? You just kill people."
Yeah.
And he goes, "All right, book me a fight." Like, no hesitation, not a thought. It's
just in his blood.
No thinking.
Competition.
Yeah. So he goes, "All right, book a fight." And I said, "All right." And I really didn't know. I trained Muay Thai. My boxing was good. My Thai was good. My pad holding was good. And I just saw it as a great opportunity. I said, "Let's do it." And it was funny because his first fight, he went up against a 2-stripe white belt, and he's a Division I wrestler. And this kid was mean mugging him from the other side, and I was like, "Oh no!" Yeah, and he just gorilla this dude. He just killed him. So he just walked through people left and right. It was very cool. And then each fight you get a little more recognition. Lou has good connections.
And he was like undefeated.
Yeah, he was killing it. Yeah, he was killing everyone. He fought a great fight. Had a big tournament he won, and. We just got a call from the UFC, and that was it. And then it got real serious real quick, It's a lot of time, a lot of preparation, a lot of pad work. I got to be there a lot, It's a lot of work, It's not, it's a lot.
Yeah, I know his first fight. We all went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah. We watched it as a gym. Yeah, and we were like, "Oh my God, it's crazy!"
Yeah. Like he got killed.
He got beat. He got his butt, but he beat him.
Yeah. That's what's crazy in MMA. Yeah. He broke his jaw, tore his pec, and blew his knee out, but he won.
He won.
You know what I mean? Like for real.
Yeah, he did the crucifix on top armbar, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you've experienced that. You rose to the top. I don't know if it's any different now, getting there. I'm sure the contracts and all that stuff is everything's changed. What advice for coaches do you have for that want to get to that level? A lot of local guys.
Well, if you want to get to that level, you need to be around the right people and be with the right people. You know what I mean? And keep it real and be honest with yourself. Learn what you can do. I learn all the time. I still learn every day. But you got to kind of see what kind of school you want to be. You know what I mean? Don't try to be the ultra competitive school if you're not. If you don't have that vibe in the school, kind of embrace what kind of vibe you have. Yeah. Our vibe, we got a little older guys. Yeah. But they're still hardcore guys, good, train hard, always willing to learn new stuff, push themselves. But not everyone's willing to compete all the time, and that's cool. So I kind of stay in the middle like that with my school.
Yeah. And going into the next bit, I think something that's really interesting is a lot of these younger guys now, you see, they're killing it, right? They're beating everyone, they're doing their thing. But we all know that, if that lasts for only so long, everybody will come down eventually.
All men fall.
Yeah, all men fall.
You're on top now. You are not going to be on top long. Yeah.
We saw that with Ricardo as well.
Oh yeah. He made it to the top, and he wasn't willing to make that next step where the other guys were. Work your hands, work this. He got there just with natural ability, which is scary. Yeah. Because he has some of the best natural ability I've ever seen. Even now, if he competed grappling, he'd be on the world class stage.
There's a little
within weeks.
yeah. There's a little birdie that say that heard that he might be interested in doing that.
Oh, I wish.
But we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've been there definitely, where you get to the top, everybody wants to be your best friend, and then you start to fall, and nobody wants to talk to you no more. I think one of the big reasons I love training with you and the gym is because we're really like a family, and I think it's due to your experiences in life, your understanding of and perspective of everything. I think something that you tell me constantly is like, you love BJJ, you love the martial arts, you're thinking about it 24/7
every day.
But you also love riding moto, spending time with your family, your kids, and like something that helped me, really embrace that. Like I never understood. When I was young and I first started out with you, it's like, bro, I just want to fight. Like I didn't want to get a job. I was like pretty much just like, let's just fight. That's all my life is gonna be about. And you always tell me like, yo, bro, like think about life. And I think, you changed my perspective, definitely. I mean, especially now, I'm 32 now. I'm about to get married in like 2 weeks, Like, life is a whole different...
It's more than just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's everything, And
for the guys that their life is jiu-jitsu, I'm not saying any thing bad about that as well.
Absolutely.
They're experiencing things that I'll never experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's the guys that everybody wants to now do that, and it's like... it's tough. It's not easy. There can only be one king, at a time.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate the gym because I've learned so much from that mindset, where it's like, it's okay. I think even GSP talked about this in his interview with Joe Rogan, where he was like, he doesn't believe, he's the best in the world. There's always somebody better.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can only be so good for so long. And it's like, what is life really about? And for this, I mean, I've told you many times, where like even this weekend I'm about to compete, and like for me, it's just a test for myself, and that's it. It's nothing else.
Yeah. You got better, no matter what. Win, lose, or draw. You win or learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You're gonna learn, and you got better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no one likes losing. You know what I mean? You go out there and you fight with all your heart, but you have to accept loss, right? All the time.
Yeah. And then I think you've helped me in many aspects of my life when I was in a really bad place. Like I don't even think you knew that I was going through stuff, but like you like. All the things you would tell me, all the things you would say, and you're a really good read of people. You usually ask me like, "Yo, is everything cool?" You could usually tell on people's faces.
Yeah.
And you would make sure that I was good. And I think that's something that we can tend to miss out on. You can, as a coach for yourself, like you've been a big kind of like life.
I like to try to find out about all my students.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with their life. Everything's cool. You know what I mean? If they get in trouble, I try to take care of them.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
So
I steer them in
the
the right direction.
Yep.
You know what I mean? My life lessons I try to pass on to my students.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If your car breaks, don't go spending $10,000 on it. You know what I mean? Do this, do that. Because I made those mistakes. I made tons of mistakes, and hopefully I teach the young kids one or two things.
Yeah,
and that's
you've taught me tons of stuff. But I just wanted to thank you. You played a huge role in my life, especially when I went through a ton of turmoil. Technically, you kind of saved it in a sense. I was in a mad.
Jiu-jitsu, man. Jiu-jitsu saves people's lives. It does, man.
Yeah.
Because it gets you in shape. It brings you around all the right people, all the positive people.
Yeah.
If you're around negativity, there's no negativity really in a jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Generally, there's not.
Absolutely.
It's usually fun and training. Any school. I mean, maybe once in a while there'll be something going on, but most of the time it's about having fun and learning something new and being upbeat. So jiu-jitsu is the common denominator. Yeah.
What would you say, I guess, for you as a coach, when you like, you've trained with Jimmy, the Team B52 with the Muay Thai. So you were old school. You were there with like Master K, all those dudes.
Augie. I mean, everybody, man.
So like you were up there as well in the Muay Thai world, and you're up there with the Jujitsu world and MMA.
I just tried to surround myself with great people. Yeah, you know what I mean. If great people came in, whether they were Thai boxers or judo guys, I pulled them aside at the end of class. Hey, let me train with you for 15 minutes. And I don't see a lot of guys doing that anymore. In my school, I do, but I guess because people see me doing that, but I see other places that, they just want to get off the mat and not learn. And you got an Olympic judo guy here. Why not learn something from him? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try to learn something from everyone. Yeah. That's it.
Do you see a difference in those kind of guys? Like dudes that only do Muay Thai, dudes that only do Jiu-Jitsu? I know your philosophy is always...
Yeah, my philosophy is I love it all. You got to learn it all, and to be a true martial artist, you should learn everything. Yeah. That's what I did, and I try to pride myself. I'm pretty good at a lot of things, you know what I mean? Not everything, but, I never fought Muay Thai, but I can throw, I can throw.
I don't think I'll ever... I think you're when I hold the pads for you...
I just love practicing. Yeah. It's just like motocross. People are like, yo, race, you'll do great, man. You'll kill guys. I'm like, dude, I just love to ride. Yeah. I can't hit Thai boxing like I used to anymore because my shoulder's destroyed. But I still love training jiu-jitsu and staying athletic and wrestling and doing judo.
It's just a passion.
And it's constantly evolving. It's not the same thing over and over. I need stimulation, just like you do. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I think you got a little bit more of that ADHD.
yeah, we both do. That's why you have 9,000 apparatuses at the school.
Yeah. No, you're right. I bought all this crap.
Every week you have something new, hanging upside down, sideways.
Doing all these crazy different
balancing
things
on balls. But it's all good.
Yeah, man. You got to change it up every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, so I guess the next thing I want to get into is, one of the areas I'm about to dive into now is my wedding, right? And I'm about to get married. And you gave me a lot of advice when I was like a single dude, like going on dates and stuff like that. I think I truly respect you and your wife's relationship. One of the things that you would always point out was that you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. Right? You gotta laugh. Yep. That's the number one thing that I make sure, if anything else, me and my fiance
with your fiance.
Yeah. And, you told me that one story. I mean, people probably online will probably think you're crazy. You're throwing ham at each other.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, life is too short, man. Why be so serious? Why be pissed off all the time? Have fun, you know what I mean? Laugh a little bit, Yep. Be around cool people, Yeah. It's just I don't know.
And how did you meet your wife again?
I was working at that gym, New York Sports Club. I was dating a girl that was kind of crazy. So
all of us.
Yeah. So we were just partying and getting wild and stuff, and I was kind of coming to the end of that. And I saw.
How old were you?
I was at my gym. I was 27.
Oh, okay.
And I broke up with this girl, and I was doing some boxing lessons in the back, and I walk up front. And there's this cute little blonde girl, and I was like, hey, yo, I like your hair. And she had this little spiked hair, and she was just so cute and sweet because my last girlfriend was a little wild and very aggressive.
Yeah.
And so, I said, maybe I should ask this girl out. So I walk up to the front of the gym, and she's behind the desk, and she's answering phones. And it was a Friday, and actually I ride motocross every Friday. So I was leaving to go ride moto. So I go out the door, and I forgot my phone in my box behind the desk, where if people called and wanted to train, a training session or leave a message for me, she'd put it in my box. So I was going to go walking out, and I was going to ask her out, and I pussed out. And I was like, man, I'll ask her next time. I'll ask her next time, whatever. So I walk out, I put my hand on the door, and I go, oh, Stacy, can you grab my phone? I put it in my box. I forgot. She gives me the phone. So she puts her hand on her hip. She goes, you can call me. I go, what do you mean? She goes, I put my number in your phone.
Snap.
So she put her number in my phone. Wow. And I said, I was just going to ask you out. She's like, yeah, right. And ever since that day, we went out that night. And it's been 17 years. And there hasn't been a day that I haven't talked to her.
Wow. Yeah, communication is key.
I knew right away. She was just the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't do anything wrong with, to her because she's so sweet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
that's how. Yeah, that's the
that's
same
what happens
feelings.
with relationships. Like guys end up cheating and banging other this and that. Because they have a miserable relationship. They're not laughing and having fun. Your wife has to be your friend at the same time.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I say, if you can't go out to dinner with your wife, just you and her talking for like an hour or so, there's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you can't stand her for that long, it's going to be bad. But I'm lucky. I know some guys aren't as lucky, and my wife's the sweetest thing in the world, man. I'm very lucky.
Yeah. No, Stacy's amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, it's so funny because like when I think about me and my relationship with my fiance, I'm like, communication's key. We gotta talk like every single day.
You have to.
And then gotta make each other laugh. Like that's like our number one mantra. Just laugh.
You can't fight and be pissed off for 3 weeks at each other because that little fight will turn into something huge and it just won't be. You can't hold on to things. You gotta just talk about it. How?
So you said that you were trying to talk to her, right? But like,
I was flirting with her a little bit. I was giving her some handshakes. You know what I mean?
How long did that take? Like, how long did it take from you first meeting her to like her?
Maybe like 2 months.
Oh, okay. 2
so you months. Built a little. She saw me dating the other girl. She knew she was a little wild. Yeah, she knew the whole dilly.
Oh, that's so funny.
So. That was it. But she was just, she was very immature when I first met her.
Yeah.
She didn't even talk. She was so shy. But there was something about her that she was just very
different. She
was pure.
Yeah,
she was very cute and just pure and innocent. And I went from all these wild, crazy chicks to her. And, I don't know. She was just cool. It was a good time. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny because like I remember there was a time where you were trying to introduce me to your sister.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll try, man.
Yeah. She's a doctor now. Yeah.
She ended up marrying somebody else.
Yeah, she took. Yeah. She's tooken.
It's all good though.
Yeah. Things happen for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So what's so we talk about you gotta keep it funny in the household. Yeah. What's one of the funniest moments do you remember with Stacy?
Oh man, I don't even know, dude. I got so many. I got some funny ones. I don't know. I can't really say one. I can't because we laugh all the time. I make her laugh, I do like scaring the snot out of my kids.
Okay.
So I do scare my son a lot, and I videotape it, and that's kind of funny. But you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
You gotta joke. I can't say one specific.
What's like one that you can remember off the top of your head?
Oh my god, I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
That's so
I can't say because there's so many. Because I'm always trying to mess with her.
Nah, I got you.
I can't say one specific.
Let's get into your hobbies now, right? So this is where it gets interesting because you do it all, right?
Yeah, the Dos Equis man.
Yeah, the Dos Equis. Yeah. You are the true Dos Equis man.
Try to be.
Yeah. So you're big into mountain biking. I think we talked about that with Liam in his episode with Chris.
Mm-hmm. We used to mountain bike.
Yeah, you guys would mountain bike. Liam would like fly off the thing and just crash and get back up. Man. Yeah, and was that like one of the first things you got into, or was that? Like later on, like what was the first
I got
thing?
Into
were you doing dirt biking first?
Yeah, I was riding bicycles, and then I got a dirt bike when I was 7. I mean, my mother for Christmas wheeled down this dirt bike down the steps. I heard tun 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 tun.
No.
Yeah, she comes down with a motorcycle, and I was like, I didn't know how to ride it. And she goes, just start riding it. My mother's a little crazy.
She's British.
Yeah,
as well.
You need to do a podcast with her. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, she's
and then I started riding when I was 7, and I just was absolutely hooked by it. I love Jujitsu, but motocross is my blood. Thing. I mean, I just can't stop thinking about it. Motocross and Jujitsu are almost the same too. There's a lot of there's a lot of a lot of things that are similarities where you can go to a jiu-jitsu school and you could look at some skinny little schlub and you go like, I'm gonna whoop this dude's ass, and he will kill you and leg lock you and guillotine you and triangle you. And then you can go to a motocross track and look at some little skinny schlub and look at that dork, and he goes and he's throwing bombs that you will never even think about doing.
Yeah.
And so
that's wild.
So it's the same, and it's motocross is a little more dangerous, obviously.
I mean, I know you try to get me into it.
Yeah, to push it to the next level. Like I said, motocross is the only sport we don't invite people to come do. You know what I mean? Because it's very dangerous. Yeah. But I just love it. I've been doing this for so long, and I know how to push the line just a little bit where I can get a little bit better, but I'm not trying to kill myself.
So that's it.
So that's it. Most guys can't do that. They don't know how to find that line.
Yeah, I tried.
Motocross.
I tried it. You got me. I didn't fall off the bike.
Yeah,
you know,
you did
I did
well.
all right. I did all right.
Yeah, you did
but
well.
I hit like a wheelie for a second. You were like, no, slow down.
Well, I know why you get hurt.
Yeah. But it was a good time.
But I try to do it all, man. I lived out west. I skied.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So you know, you were talking about after Colorado. That's when you started everything.
Yeah. So
how
leading up to Colorado, I was out of school. I'm not very studious. I can't study. I hate it. After school, you have to do a lot of high school. You have to do a lot of soul searching, and I wasn't going to school. I wasn't working, and I was like, "Yo, what am I doing?" It's a scary point in every man's life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. What are you gonna do? So a couple of my friends were like, "Yo, we're going to Colorado for the winter. You want to come?" So I'm like, yeah, let's
These are
go.
high school friends, or
yeah. So I was like, yo, let's go. So I put $1,300 in my pocket.
Wow.
I packed up my Jeep and we just drove out there. And my buddy was like, yo, I know this girl out there. She's gonna hook us up with a place to live, a job, and everything. We go there, we dial her number, and it goes, this number has been disconnected. So I was like, what? What are we gonna do? So we lived in the woods for a couple of days. So hotels, woods, hotels. It was interesting, man. It was interesting.
That's crazy.
And then we ended up, no one wanted to rent to us. And, you know, this one guy was like, hey, man, I'll rent to you guys. Who's going to rent to 3 21-year-old kids or 20-year-old kids?
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a good job bouncing at a cool club at night so I could ski every day. And I looked at skiing just like I did at Jujitsu and Motocross. I try to get better every day. I used to have Bud Mogul skiers. I'd give him a couple drinks. He'd give me a lesson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I skied with world-class skiers,
That's
too.
That's crazy, dude.
So, yeah, I used to do lessons with them, and I really wanted to get better. I hated, you know, not being as good as I could be.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I came back to Jersey and I wanted to start training. So I started lifting and, you know, that's when I tore my pec. And then I started working at the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was Colorado, the gym, and then martial arts, and then the wife, and all kind of melted together. Yeah.
How was Colorado? I know you've explained, like, it's just a whole different world out there.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. I do love it. It's cool, but I like diversity. You know what I mean? I like seeing all day. I like black people, Puerto Rican people. You know, if you're around white people too much, it gets a little crazy. You know what I mean? Too much country music, too much of this, too much of everything is bad. Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. I don't care what it is.
Funny.
And I remember when I found out that the DJ was this black guy from Chicago, I was so happy. I was like, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
So I had a good time out there, but it's not culturally diverse as here.
Okay.
I grew up here.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up with...
Yeah, North Brunswick.
Yeah, I grew up, you know, how it is. And out there, it's not like that. There's 3 black guys, 2 Puerto Ricans, and, you know, just us, you know.
Else.
So it was cool. It was fun. And at that time of my life, it's what I wanted to do. But I couldn't live there.
Yeah.
Because I like it here, man. You know, in the East Coast, we can do everything, man. Jiu-jitsu, motocross, beach. The food here is phenomenal. I mean, you got everything, you know. We used to have to drive 2 hours to go to Boston Market. Yeah, because it was so good. Yeah, cause the food
Boston Market was so good.
Because the food in Colorado up in the mountains sucked. It was
wow.
terrible. Yeah, it was very,
wow, I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, food was terrible.
Yeah. Where in Colorado was it?
I lived in Vail.
Oh, Vail, okay.
So I lived in the schwankiest joint.
Yeah, so Vail is supposed to be like that, right? Like one of the...
Yeah, it's the upper, it's bougie.
Oh, it's bougie.
Yeah.
So you were around a lot of rich
extremely
people.
rich, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. So you out there, you did your skiing and...
I bounced at night. I did security at a dance club.
Okay.
So I would work at night. I would work from maybe... my whole schedule was the same for 2 years.
Yeah.
I would get up in the morning at 9:30. We'd get to the mountain at 10. We would ski from Vail from 10 to 2. I would get home maybe around 3 or 4. I would take a nap from 5 to 6. Go to the gym from 6 to 7. And then repeat it. Go to work. Get home, and it just keep going. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I'd work until about 3, go home, get up at 9, do the whole thing again.
What was the skiing
routine. It was the best in the world.
Compared to here, like,
sucks.
It's garbage.
Yeah. I skied powder up to my neck, to my face. I skied 130 days in a row. You know what I mean? No, I'm sorry. 130 days total. Like, I skied 70 days in a row.
70 days in a row.
Which is a lot. You know, it's a lot on your body. But I snowboard, too. So to let my body rest, because my body was destroyed from skiing. My legs
Oh
were
wow,
killing
I didn't
me.
know that.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you
It's
get
a
destroyed.
different.
It's
whole
hard,
different-
yeah. And I was in the best shape of my life because I was training at altitude. I would sleep at 8,000 feet and ski
Wow.
between 10 and 13 every day.
Wow,
I was
that's
205, you know. High elevation training is amazing.
Yeah. How was I guess out there? I mean, I'm sure that the skiing is probably dangerous as well.
You
right?
can
Like,
die. No,
yeah.
it's not. It's life threatening. Yeah,
Was that like? Did you hear about things like that happening?
Out there's signs. If you go past these gates, you have to pay for someone to come get you if you get stuck or something. Yeah.
And did you hear those type of stories? Did you ever
I've
hear-
seen people die. I've seen
Oh, you serious?
Seen 3 people die in one day. Yeah,
3 people
3
die.
people die in one day. Because we got 40 inches of powder, and if you don't know where you're going on the mountain, you stall and stop.
Okay.
Also, too, is if you get caught and you hit a tree and you go face down, it's called a tree well, you can suffocate. So, two people asphyxiated and one lady had a heart attack.
Oh my
Because I used to ski
gosh.
with all the ski patrol out there, so my friend was on ski patrol.
Wait, what is that called? Ski
Ski patrol.
No. The tree thing. When you
Oh,
when
a
you
tree
suffocate.
well, a tree well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
is
there's
that?
like a little hole on the other side of the tree.
Okay.
Some people go up to trees while they're skiing in the trees and they hold onto it and they'll fall into it. And you can't get out when it's deep. So so you kind of like almost drowned upside down. It's pretty.
In snow.
Yeah, it's something that.
That's that's
pretty scary.
They should make a movie about that. That's like the new horror movie right there.
It's pretty scary.
Drowning in snow.
But that's if it's really deep. I mean, it's dangerous, you know.
Yeah.
So. But we knew where we were going, so you have to ski where it's real steep.
Okay. Oh, so like you were familiar with the terrain.
I knew
you knew
the
everything.
back of my
It
head.
doesn't change like year to year.
I mean, it does, and you have to learn it, you know.
Yeah.
But me being out there every day, you know, I used to walk on my skis. You know, I was comfortable skiing as I was walking.
So it was like your second nature. now.
Yeah, I just enjoyed it. It was fun.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
Well, I skied every day. Even when I was in Jersey over here, I loved skiing so much.
Oh, it was something you did.
Yeah,
like-
I did before.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it
used
was
to
something you just did. once you got
No. I was a beginner skier there,
Yeah, okay.
and then I got to advanced living
level.
out there.
Wow.
Living out there.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you went to Colorado, had no idea.
No.
Yeah, and then you just
No.
was like, hey, let's try skiing, and you just got back
So we
good
used
at
to
it.
ski one day and then go to the desert the next day. We'd go out to Moab, Utah.
are you serious?
Because we were right on 70 and it was 100 miles away directly,
That's
one
crazy.
road. So it was cool. Colorado's a really interesting
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
I recommend everyone going out there.
Yeah, I've been there one time. I went to Denver. It was like a
Well, no,
really
you have to
clean-
go around. You have to go around. Yeah.
It was like a really clean, tiny
Airport.
little New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. You know?
Absolutely.
But I mean, we're almost done with this episode, and you know, I mean, before we get to the last part, I just wanted to say that there's something that out of all the stuff, you know, you how you are with your wife, as a coach, you know, as a man, like there's so many things about you that I respect.
Well, thank you.
But one thing that, you know, even for myself, that I hope to get some insight from you is I really respect you and how you are as a father, right? You, like, the way, I can see the way you treat your kids and the way they look at you and talk to you, it's very different, you know?
It's
like,
hard, yeah.
Yeah. I know something that, you know, you love is riding moto and little B's getting into it.
Yeah, everything.
You know?
I try to have him do everything I do.
He's like legit,
Yeah,
like
he's getting there.
killing it, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can record it all the time. I see the videos. Yeah, it's super impressive.
Yeah,
like,
it's scary because you know as he gets better and faster, it's very dangerous. So I'm.
So I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah.
As a parent, like,
Oh, I'm scared.
You scared?
Doodleless. Yeah. Can I say doodleless?
Yeah.
I'm scared, but I enjoy it, and I see him enjoying it. You know, he rides mountain bikes. He just enjoys it. He's on his bike all day.
It. Yeah.
I want him to train jujitsu more, but logistically, I don't get there. You know, it's hard because where I live. But he's going to be starting real soon.
Yeah.
And he enjoys that too. You know, but
Dude,
I don't
that's
push him
awesome.
just too hard yet. But he's
yeah.
start.
And I guess as a father, when you see your son doing like something, I guess, dangerous like moto, how do you make sure that you are doing your best to like protect them? Do you have like a method to it? Like how do you even get them to like learn how to ride it.
You just got to be consistent and be patient, you know, and don't push them. Always know how to back off. As a parent, you have to become a father and a friend. You know what I mean? So I have to kind of be a father and push him a little bit, and be a friend and talk to him a little bit. You know what I mean? So I try to get him past his fears. He has a lot of fears.
Oh, interesting. I would never get.
Oh yeah. It's hard. It's hard overcoming it. What we do on the track looks so easy, and then people go to do it just like good jiu-jitsu, you know. But we do on a regular track, jumping 80 feet. The normal person will just can't do it. You're scared. You have no idea.
That's crazy. Yeah, I always thought about that. I'm like, even when I started, I mean, the way you have a method to it, and I think that method you use, like you said, like you used it for everything. Your jiu-jitsu, your boxing, like your lifting, your skiing, whatever. You use that method. I
always try to get better every day. Even now rolling, I try to do something a little bit different. I try to learn something, to figure out something, You
lose, you learn.
Absolutely, learn.
Yeah. Well, in motocross, like with your son, like how does it make you feel like when you see him doing it? Like I know it scares you, but like are you like proud of it?
Oh, I love it. I have the best time. He's the best moto buddy.
Yeah.
He's never
like your
late.
Best friend.
He eats the same food. You know what I mean? He's
it's just
awesome.
Something you guys do together.
Yeah, we just hang out. We get up in the morning. We get the bikes ready. It's the whole day. It's not just motocross. Motocross is hanging out at the track with people, and you meet a lot of really. Just like jiu-jitsu, you meet some really wacky people.
Oh, wacky people.
It's really cool, but cool people.
Yeah.
And I know guys, I've been riding with the same guys for over 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they've seen my son born, So,
dude, that's crazy. And now they see him riding. How old did he start?
He got his first dirt bike when he was 3.5.
Oh, I didn't know it was that young. Wow. How old is he now? He's like 12.
He just turned 11. But he's had 3 dirt bikes. This is his 3rd motorcycle.
Yeah, and he's been growing like crazy.
Yeah, he's big now. He's very big. He'll probably outgrow this pretty quickly.
And then your daughter Emma. I was thinking Ella, for son's daughter. But she adores you.
Oh, we get along great. She melts me.
Yeah. And like it's so crazy because I see that, and like something that I see is that the relationships in the gym, the fathers with their kids.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
If you see all the guys in the gym with they're all friends with their kids as well.
They're
so not
crazy,
just fathers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you always try to outdo your father. You know what I mean? But but just seeing all the guys in the gym, Sung and whatever, with their daughter and kids or whoever, it's just, they're friends, but fathers as well. You know what I mean? So it's good.
How did you, I guess, well, first, I'm about to get married, and eventually, I would like to have some kids. What, I guess, advice, would you have for someone like me, or people listening in? Like, I respect you as a dad so much. Like, how did you grow this mentality? You and me talked about your relationship with your father. It wasn't the best, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't grow up with my father.
Yeah, exactly. But most people you see that have that situation don't fall in line with that. They don't end up becoming great dads, right? They end up kind of, just running away.
Yeah, sometimes picking up bad behaviors.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, some guys either pick up bad behaviors like their father, or they try to better and be better than their father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess 2 questions. What is one that is advice you would give to me? And then 2 would be, how did you turn that into becoming, the type of father you are now?
Oh, well, you know what? Listen, as I look back on it now, and it sounds cliche, but you just have to enjoy it. I enjoy having my little baby and changing diapers and stuff like that.
That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, and listen, and you know what, Simon? That's normal. It's supposed to.
Yeah. That's
supposed to. And this is the natural progression of life. You're kind of, I didn't want to bring kids into this world, but you know what? This is kind of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're supposed to.
And you have like your wife and you have quite some time between. I mean,
You're 7 years older.
Yeah.
So, but she wanted kids right away, and I slowed it down a little bit, and shut it down. But it's fun, man. I just enjoy it, and I try to do everything with my kids. Man. Be there. I'm very lucky, and I'm blessed that I can be the father that I am, because I wake up, I get my kids ready. My job and my, jiu-jitsu has allowed me to do this and do all these sports and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And, I remember once I introduced Brian to Henzo. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, we've seen Henzo a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah.
He likes to, hang out in the mall one time.
Yeah.
So I introduced him, and I met Henzo a bunch of times. And I said, Henzo, it's my son. I said, Brian, I want you to thank Henzo Gracie, because without his family, I don't know what the hell we'd be doing, bro. For real. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, that's so funny, man.
I said his family, Brian, is responsible, and just thank him. And
they brought jobs to America.
Yeah, and Henzo was just a man, so he was real cool. And I'm just blessed, and I'm thankful every day that I can wake up. I get my kids ready for school. I don't really do anything in the morning, so I kind of do whatever I want. I can go riding, I can go whatever. I do some privates, but mainly I work at night. And so my wife works during the day, and we have a nice little mixture. You know what I mean? It's a great little combination, and it kind of works with our relationship and with the kids and everything. So
I'm like kind of freaking out about that, like trying to find that synergy.
When it happens, you never know, because it's scary, it's nerve wracking, it's having kids and a family and being responsible for a little kid, and oh my God, but it also makes you feel good as a man, you know what I mean? So wow. Just jiu-jitsu is like being a father. You're just gonna learn, make mistakes. I mean, being a father is like jiu-jitsu. So
you make mistakes, you learn.
Yeah, and absolutely. And listen to people that did it. You know what I mean? Yeah. My first kid, I learned. I didn't know much, so my second kid, I learned a lot from the first. And I was a lot more relaxed and had a good time.
Yeah, I know you and Brian talk about. He just had his daughter, and he was saying how like his son was such a good baby.
I tell everyone that.
No crying.
My son was too.
Yeah, and then as soon as he had his daughter, it's like it's like
hard.
Crying all night. She never smiles.
My daughter didn't smile for 2 years. Yeah. Swear to God, man. I thought something was wrong, dude. I was like, I don't know. I thought she didn't like me.
Dude, that's so
I swear, man. It was weird. We have pictures of her just looking like mean mugging.
Just grumpy.
Yep.
Yeah. But Emma has that face too.
But now she's just the sweetest,
she's so
loving.
Sweet,
they change,
Yep.
But just embrace. As long as they're healthy, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, son was like, I have one rule for my kids: just don't die before me. That's it. You don't care about nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't die before me.
Because that's what's supposed to happen. You know what I mean?
Yep. Wow.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we're at our last segment, the final piece. And I always bring this up with every guest that I have on the show. It's the quirky thing that not many people know about you, but you're like really into, and not like if I were to never ask, you would never know. And the show I've had so many left fielders. Like Jeff was talking about, like he plays Dungeons and Dragons. Like
that doesn't surprise me.
It surprises me a little bit because he's really busy. Like he's getting his PhD. Like where do you find time to do that? But he's into that. Ron, he was playing like Magic cards at one point.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's funny.
Nothing surprises me.
Well, nothing surprises you.
Yeah.
But like I know you like spent most of your time in your life doing motocross, skiing, martial arts, and then you like have this little hobby where you do ping pong. But and I also know that you really, you like to eat. You just like all the rest of us at the gym.
Yeah, I know. Banging places everywhere.
Yep. But is there anything? I think there was only one person that couldn't really answer it. It was Jay. Like he was like, "There's nothing that But is there anything about you that we couldn't guess, like Star Trek? Something.
I seriously, the only thing I don't think any of you suckers know, but I'm really a nasty cook. For real.
Brian is a good cook.
Yo, I can cook. Yes. I don't care, man. I can cook real good. I don't care. Lunch, breakfast, dinner. I can throw it together quick, get it done. You know what I mean? And I cook pretty well. You know what I mean? And also I try to learn cooking too. I have friends that are chefs, and I always ask them, what about the chicken? How do I prepare it? How about the grill? Any little thing I try to learn. But I enjoy cooking too.
I know you did a couple, like every time, even with the grand opening at the school, like you threw a barbecue and everybody was like, "This food thing."
I just love cooking, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
What's your do you have a favorite thing?
I like making all sorts of different type of tacos.
Wait, tacos. Oh, okay.
Teriyaki tacos.
Really?
I made with the banging glaze.
Dude, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know you made tacos.
With onions and cilantro, I make. And,
do you do hard, soft? Does it matter? Oh, only soft.
Soft.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll do corn and flour. I'll put.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I stick mostly with the corn.
Yeah.
I just
I
for
like
me
the
it tastes
taste.
better.
Yeah.
I like to grill it on the fire.
Yeah. Just throw it right on there. Yep.
Get a little bit of.
But I do enjoy cooking, man.
Yeah,
I love
me
it.
too. That's like my thing. Food is my number 4 passion.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like I could see myself working on a food truck all day. You know what I mean?
Hey man, who knows?
I know. Listen, I never
Brian
thought I'd
Katz,
be doing this.
Yeah, they got Katz Deli in New York. He's gonna be
yeah, absolutely.
Katz food truck in near future. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But this was awesome.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for
absolutely.
The show. Tomorrow I'll be competing. You'll be in my corner.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll be there.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens later on. But I think the journey is just
we're on a train ride, bro.
Yeah, man. It's just show up, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Just react when stuff happens and have a plan and do the right thing.
Yeah,
that's
just gotta show up.
That's it.
Put my face out there, do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I go home, and I just come back to the gym, and it's like life never changed.
That's it.
So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to like the years that go by.
It's going by fast.
Yeah, I know. I mean, your kid's growing up super quick, bro.
Yeah, I've had the school 13 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's another
crazy.
thing. Yeah, you've had the school for 13 years.
I look at it, I'm like, man, it just seems like yesterday.
Yeah, and we don't know where what the future holds. I know you've been thinking about some more, North Carolina stuff.
Well, I'm gonna open another school somewhere. Not even a question. Just where.
Yeah, times it'll happen. So
absolutely.
We'll keep an eye out for it, and I'm looking forward to what the future has to bring and everything that is gonna happen, man. I'm being a married guy, being
you got a lot of stuff coming up, not me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
listen, it's all.
I got a good kid, man.
Yeah.
You guys are in my corner.
Yeah, you got good family around you, bro.
Yeah. You guys are all coming to the wedding. It's gonna be a real fun time. I can't wait for it.
Absolutely.
2 more weeks. So. All right, Brian.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro.
All right, brother. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right,
cool.
All done.
Done?
Yep.
Damn, that did go by, bro.
Yeah, see?
Holy shit.
What's up, everyone? Thanks so much for watching the episode. If you liked what you saw, make sure to subscribe, comment, like, and definitely share because you never know who this could help. If you'd like to buy any of the products that were discussed, the links are all available in the description below under the video. Make sure to use my links so that I can get paid. And if you'd like to further support what I'm doing, you can send me Bitcoin and Litecoin to my wallet addresses that are also in the description. Thank you all again so much for watching and your support for the project. Peace!